Alright, here we are back with a Week 13 predictions video for the league. We're joined by the Raiders user C Money.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Glad to have him on. We're going to look at some players of the week, some weekly awards, the yearly awards. We're going to go over predictions, as well as like a quick standings predictions as well, possibly. First, let's go into the players of the week. 1 second, let me get myself over there. For the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, it's Dion Whitfield. He had 12 catches, 267 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's putting up stupid numbers this year. It's really crazy, man. NFC Defensive Player of the Week was DeAndre Baker, cornerback for the Cardinals. He had 3 picks, a touchdown, and 1 tackle. On the AFC side, Jalen McGraw continues to put up just stupid numbers. 12
That's the
catches.
running back for the Bills.
It's the wide receiver for the Bills. Yeah, he
Wide
is.
receiver for the Bills. He's a monster.
Yeah, his numbers are crazy. You know, you go up against him this week, so if you can shut him
Yeah,
down, you're gonna win the game. It's
we
just
play
straight
next.
up. 5 receiving touchdowns, and just these numbers are. You can tell it must have been against the CPU for the Jets. His free safety had 11 tackles, 6 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 3 touchdowns. That's absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like that for Player of the Week. Alright, let's go over to the predictions video. We're going to save the games of the week for last, as always. Alright, so the first game up is the Bengals and Browns. Looks like they've already played. The Browns won 59-10 in a blowout. You know, he's having a rough season. I think he's 4-8 now. Still trying to possibly win that division because the division's always down. Drew Lock threw for 2 touchdowns, 200 yards. Kareem Hunt was the man of the show, though, with 218 yards and 4 scores. That's where his money came from, looks like. Rondale Moore had a good day for the Bengals, had 116 yards and a score. Patty Fisher, middle linebacker for Cleveland, had 2 picks as well. So a really good game for him there. I know he needed a win like that. We had 1 other game, or 3 other games already played as well. Excuse me. The Patriots and Jets went at it earlier today. You know, after the first quarter, it was pretty even, 7-7, 7-7, and 9-8 in the fourth. But the Jets exploded to a 21-7 lead in the first quarter. He only had 8 first downs. And offensive yards gained, he barely beat the Pats. So it looks like it was close games. So you get down 6 turnovers and 5 turnovers.
Yeah, the Jets player should let somebody else win something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, Pat stuck with him. He's one of the 3 teams in the league to beat him. Burrow and Tyree Jackson threw for 291 and 290. I mean, these two, their stats are just right on line about everything for this game, at least. Sony Michel and Wan'Dale Robinson went for over 100 total and 3 scores. Henry Ruggs had 161 and 2 scores. Looks like J.R. Reed for the Patriots picked off 2 passes. The Cowboys and 49ers went at it. I know the 49ers, he needed a win to really give his playoff hopes a chance. And the Cowboys are fighting for his division. I believe he's 6-6 now. He came away with the 29-10 victory. He had 16 points in the fourth quarter. It looks like that's what kind of got him there.
That's a good fourth quarter for a guy 16 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he only threw for 35 yards passing with 2 picks the whole game. So I'm willing to bet this rushing looks good, and it does. Both his running backs went over 100 yards. He had 2 scores with Elliott and 1 with DJ Dallas. You know, your leading rusher can't be your quarterback if you are the 49ers. Baker Mayfield at 27 yards, especially when you have people like Le'Veon Bell and Cam Akers on your team. You got to get more than 15 yards rushing with those 2 guys. Defensively, it was just a pretty solid game, both sides. Nobody really stood out with anything. And the other game that's been played is the Giants and Rams. I know the Giants are he's having his worst season since year 1. It's not even close. I think he's 5-7 now, and he's usually a 12-13 win team every year. But he's really struggled this year. The Rams having a great year. I think he's 10-2 or something like that now. Giants trying to figure out their quarterback situation after Danny Dimes went down a few weeks ago, so he's kind of flip-flopping between two guys. Doesn't seem to be working very well. Rams threw for 360 and 4 scores, though. Barkley did go over 100. Brandon Cooks went for basically 203 touchdowns for the Rams. Dylan Moses had a good day with 8 tackles and 2 picks as well. All right, let's get into some actual predictions now. The first one we got up is the Falcons at the Bucks. This one's always a tough game, always a lot of shit talk. You know, it tends to be a really close game. There have been blowouts here and there. I don't think that Clifton has beaten V since year 1, but he's been close numerous times. What do you think about this one, C-Money?
I don't know these guys that well, but if I go for one, I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
The
I
Bucks,
done played them. Yeah, I done played them a couple times.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Falcons and the Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks. Oh, okay, I see it though.
Yeah. I believe the Bucks, they're still undefeated. He's undefeated still, and the Falcons are like 6-4-1 or something along those lines.
Oh, okay. Well, that's him then. The Falcon guy. Like I don't know a lot of these guys, but I done played the Falcons, and he's nice. He got a nice game plan. I think he done beat me a couple times.
Yeah, it's an upset pick for sure. I'm going to stick with V here. I think he's going to keep himself undefeated, but it should be a really close game, in my opinion.
No. He can't stay undefeated.
All right, we got the Colts at the Steelers. The Steelers lead their division at like 6-4 or something along those lines, while the Colts are 6-6, I believe, or 5-6. He's definitely in the wild card race. He's in the hunt. So he needs some stuff to go right for him to finish the season. What do you think about this one?
Steelers.
Yeah,
I got to go with the Steelers.
I'm thinking Steelers as well. The Colts they had a good win over Chap last week, 21-17. The Steelers didn't play; they got a forced win over the Seahawks. But I'm gonna stick with Steelers here. All right, we got an AFC South matchup here between two teams that, honestly, a losing team here. Their season's probably done. Jaguars are 4-6-1. The Texans are 5-5. Both users have a decent offense. The Jags defense tends to be a little better, but more weapons on the offensive side of the ball for the Texans. What do you think about this one?
I'm gonna go with the Jaguar.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick Jags here as well.
Stick with the Jaguar on that one. Like I can't see the Rutgers and all that, but I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. I'm picking just what I think.
No, I understand. You got the Panthers, who are 0-10 or 0-11, I believe. He's having just a really rough season. He can't seem to find any kind of offense outside of Christian McCaffrey. The Packers looks like. What were you saying?
And he's playing my next door neighbor, so y'all know where I'm going with that. We ain't gotta answer that question. It packs all day. You know what I'm saying? I can't go against that grain like that.
Yeah. The Packers almost pulled off a huge upset last week. They're playing the Cardinals, who are tends to be one of the better users in the NFC. He was actually leading him going into the fourth quarter, but fell short there at the end. I'm sticking with the Packers.
I thought been trading one of my running back to him, but I think it was the 8 weeks, so I don't think he got a chance to.
Yeah,
get him.
Just barely didn't go through. Yeah, that would have been even more crazy. He's got a good running back now as well, and he's got decent receivers. He's got a good young quarterback. I'm going to stick with the Packers here. Just lots of weapons on offense. He plays a lot better defense than the Carolina user, too. Vikings at Chiefs. This one will be a forced win for the Chiefs, or he'll play the CPU. The Vikings user, a solid user, but he is out of town still with some personal issues going on, so he won't be able to play that one. We got the Broncos at the Lions. Bunny is 3-8 this year, I believe. The Lions are around the same line, 2-9. Both of them, not having really great seasons. Need a win here to kind of get themselves back on track and finish with some decency. If this game gets played, I'm going to stick with the Lions for sure. His run game is really good. He's usually a playoff tier team.
I play the Broncos twice a year. So I got to go with the Broncos.
Yeah, I think Bunny definitely has weapons on offense, especially he's got speed here about everywhere. It looks like. Um, I'm gonna stick with the Lions here. We're going to skip over the Bills and the Raiders because that's one of the games of the week. Same thing with the Redskins and Cardinals. So we got the Eagles at the Seahawks. The Eagles have reeled off 3 straight wins in a row, I believe. So he's now 5-6 or 6-6, trying to fight for that division lead with the Redskins. While the Seahawks are having definitely down year. I think he's 4-7 or 4-8 along those lines. Um, Seattle definitely has a better offense, for sure. Philadelphia plays 10 times better defense though, so it's gonna be a battle of what's better, offense or defense. What do you think about this game?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I
Gotta
think
go with Philly.
yeah, I think Seattle just they can't stop, they can't do anything. I mean, on defense, it's that bad. Um, I think the Eagles will be able to score if this game gets played. I think Seattle put up a lot of points too, so it could be really close. But I'm gonna stick with Philadelphia here.
Y'all gonna have to get rid of some of them players, get some money on the roster.
Yeah,
Some
we
free
got
agents and
yep, we got the Dolphins and Ravens. This will be a forced win for the Ravens, or uh, it will be played by CPU. Um, Dolphins, we're still looking for a new user for that team. New York and Buffalo and New England keep bullying people out of leaving the league. I think we're on like our 4th Dolphins user or something like that. That division's
wow,
just ridiculous. Um,
wow.
Rare this week, we do have 4 games of the week. We're fixing to go over all 4 of them, just because there were so many good, just really, really good games. I'm gonna say the Bills and Raiders for last. So we'll go Redskins at Cardinals. Both teams are 7-4. Cardinals are the first team in the wild card race, and the Redskins are leading their division, although just slightly. Um, Good offenses for both teams. Very opposite in the case that the Cardinals makes a lot of mistakes offensively, and the Redskins makes almost 0 mistakes offensively. Last week he beat the Giants 27-2. Um, so should be a good game here. I'm definitely taking the Skins in this one. I have the Cardinals first round pick, so I'm a little biased. I hope he loses every game the rest of the year, but I'm going to stick with the Skins. What do you think about this game?
Going with the Cardinals just cause you going with the Skins. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. I done played him. He's pretty nice. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with the Cardinals.
that's a fair enough assessment for it. We got the Saints at the Titans. The Saints started off the year 1-3. I think they're now 8-4 now. So he's really been on a roll, especially with his run
Getting it
game.
together.
Yeah, in Tennessee, we know they can run the ball. We know that they can pass the ball. He's got a good, solid user in this league. He did lose last week to somebody. Let me pull it back up real quick because actually, he lost to the Bucks last week. He got absolutely smacked, 42-10. But it's hard to play Tampa Bay. It really is. I'm gonna stick with the Titans here. Veteran user of the league, definitely plays their better defense. I think
I'm
also
gonna
has
go
a
with
better
you on
roster.
that.
All right, we got the Chargers at the Bears. The Bears are 10-1. The Chargers are 9-2. He got a good win.
Well,
He got a good win last week. Actually, no, he fell to the Patriots last week, 52-40. But Jay Parker's a good user too. Um,
well, the Bears use man, him had a game and it went kind of googly, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't the best game for me. It was a good game, but it wasn't the best game for me.
yeah,
So and then
I remember
then
the
the
game.
Chargers in my division. The Chargers are in my division, so I'm gonna go with the Chargers on that one.
Oh wow, I'm hurt. I really am. I
I know
think
it. I'm just.
I played. This is the old Cardinals user. I've only played him once, and I lost to him. So I'm definitely trying to get some revenge here in this game. I think that it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be about who makes mistakes and who doesn't. I'm going to stick with Chicago in this one. I've got home field advantage. Got a good run game, and the Chargers tends to not be able to stop the
Come
run as
on, man.
well
You
as they can
got
stop
to,
the
you got
pass.
you got a good defense, man. You got a good
Yeah, we got a good
defense.
defense too, but the run game is one of
Come
the best
on,
in the
man.
league. This one, the last game is the Bills at the Raiders, and I picked it for a game of the week because it's really interesting. They're both 6-5 and tied for the last wild card spot. So the winner of the game will be in the last wild card spot, while the loser will be a game back. This rarely happens, so it's really interesting with 5 games left. Really important game for both these teams because the winner will have the tiebreaker over the other team. Although it's not impossible if one team were to lose, they could come back past the other one. So I'll go first on this one because I think your opinion is probably a little biased. But uh, both of them have one player offensively that 90% of their offense goes through, and they struggle if they don't have success with that player. For the Raiders, it's that running back Donnelly. He's really, really good, really fast, and he puts up good numbers. And for the Bills, it's his receiver Jalen McGraw. So two big, huge weapons. It's going to be about who can stop the other one more. The defenses are okay. I think the Raiders have a better defense than the Bills here, although I think the Bills have a slightly more balanced offense. Um, so this is gonna be a really, really great game. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking in the score somewhere around the 38 to 35 range. Um, I'm gonna take the Raiders just because the Bills usually he makes too many mistakes offensively, too many picks trying to throw it deep. And I know the Raiders have a good secondary. My boy
I'm hoping
Darius
that's what they
Slay,
do.
from Mississippi is gonna take care of business up there with
Oh,
McGraw. So what do you think about this game? Who you picking? You got Buffalo?
yeah, I got Buffalo to win, man. If for real, this is real talk. If my running game don't pick up, I'm thinking if he can play defense and stop me from passing it, yeah, I feel kind of good about his game. But if he let me get out with that running and let me control the clock, it's gonna be a long game for him.
Yeah, I'm really excited this one. I'm really looking forward to looking at this game.
It's gonna be a long game for him.
All right, that's gonna conclude the predictions. Let's quickly. I do want to go over the yearly awards. I didn't get a chance to go over them last week. We didn't do a predictions video. For the NFL MVP, it's free safety Jeff Gladney leading the way for the Jets. He's just putting up stupid numbers all year long. Same for Deion Whitfield, who's right behind him, the wide receiver from the Bucks. The coach of the year, Jets leading the way, followed by the Rams, then the Buccaneers, then the Bears.
Jets, let somebody get it, Jet.
Yeah, somebody else got to get some awards. This one's actually really interesting here. The AFC Offensive Player of the Year right now is Austin Eckler of the Chargers leading the way, followed by Jalen McGraw of the Bills and then Kareem Hunt. I do see Donnelly down there. He's 7th on the list, so maybe a few good games could power him up there into the top 3 or 4. The Defensive Player of the Year is, of course, Jeff Gladney, followed by Winovich and Terrell Lewis. The Jets just dominate this. He gets so much credit for how good his offense is, but his defense really is spectacular,
nasty.
too. It's really, really good.
Defense is nasty.
Offensive Rookie of the Year is Bernard Donnelly for the Raiders, running away with it. I think that if he continues the pace that he's at, he's definitely going to win the award. He's followed by the Bills quarterback, so this is a big one as well. For both teams in their Offensive Rookie of the Year status. The Defensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Gladney as well. He's just got really, really good numbers. He's winning all the awards and everything. We go over to the NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Deion Whitfield, followed by Justin Fields and Saquon Barkley. While the Defensive Player of the Year is Roquan Smith of the Bears, followed by Dylan Moses of the Rams, and then 2 Buccaneers. The Offensive Rookie of the Year, Deion Whitfield. A rookie running back for the Eagles, Isaiah Luckett, is behind him in 2nd. But I doubt anybody catches Whitfield. But I think he's got 30 receiving touchdowns already or something like that. And Defensive Rookie of the Year is Tim Riggins from the Bucks. I'm going to quickly look at these standings and the wild card races. Just a quick little update. I'll go through and tell you what each team's record is. You tell me who you think has a good chance to win the division, so on and so forth. We'll start out with the AFC North. The Steelers are 7-4 at the moment. Ravens 4-7. Browns just got the win. They're 4-8, and the Bengals are 1-11. I think the Browns user is probably the best user in this division, but he's so far behind Pittsburgh at this point. I can't imagine catching him. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Steelers here as well. He's playing really, really good football. He's actually one of 10 teams to never make the playoffs this Madden, so I know he's really looking forward to this one. In the AFC South, Titans are 8-3. Colts and Texans are both 5-6, and Jags are 4-6. This is an easy one for me. I'm sticking with the Titans here. Colts and Texans both in the wild card race, though.
I'm gonna stay with
All right.
Tennessee.
AFC East, Jets just beat the Pats, so he's 12-0 now, and he's beat him both times. This is an easy one, also. Pats probably going to get the first wild card spot like they do every year. Bills in the race for the second one.
And that's the Jets division.
Yeah,
Yeah, just I don't even do no good to
this is
talk
a
about that. Man.
yeah, this is a really interesting one. The actually involves both of us very much. The Chargers are 7-4. The Raiders are 6-5. If I was to beat the Chargers this week and you were to beat the Bills, both of you'd be 7-5 and tied for the division. You're on a 4-game win streak, I see as well. So you really
Sound
got the
good, people. Sound good,
yeah,
people.
you really got to go in Oakland out there. Um, I don't think the Chiefs or Broncos have a chance to catch anyone in this division. I do think both teams in this division are gonna make the playoffs. But I'm not sure who's going to win the division and who's going to get the second wild card spot.
Well, let,
I think the Chargers did beat you both times this year, although the second one was a
yeah,
close one. So he does
yeah.
have the tiebreaker over you. But it's going to be really interesting. Really looking forward to it. NFC North, Bears are 10-1. They've already clinched the division. Packers and Vikings are 4-7. So Chicago will be making its fifth straight playoff appearance.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. NFC South, the Buccaneers are 11-0. He's the obvious pick to win the division. Saints are 7-4. Falcons are 6-4-1, but he beat the Saints twice, so he will have the tiebreaker over him if they can get even. I'm sticking with Bucks. I think that one of these two teams will make the playoffs, Saints or Falcons, but I don't know which one.
I kind of like the Falcons. I
You
don't know
think?
why.
Yeah, he's a really good user. I can't imagine him catching up to V though. It's 11-0. Uh, but Falcons definitely, Noop always he's really good to make the playoffs, so I'm sure he'll have a chance to. NFC East, by far one of the best divisions in the whole league. Redskins are 7-4. Cowboys are 6-6, just played. Giants are 5-7, just played, and the Eagles are 5-6. So really big game for the Eagles coming up here. If he's going to catch the Skins, he's 2 games back on him. He really needs a win here. I'm going to stick with the Redskins, but it's going to be close. What about you?
Cowboys the game behind.
He has 1 game behind.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
I think that's a good pick as well. The NFC West, last division, the Rams just won. They're 10-2. They have beaten the Cardinals both times, so he's probably got the division locked up. Cards are 7-4. Have a tough test this week. I think he's definitely got a good chance to make a wild card, but I can't imagine him catching the Rams for the division.
The Rams. I don't know the Rams usually that good, but I go with it.
So we go over to the AFC, the race. The Jets, Titans, Steelers, and Chargers all are leading their divisions. In the wild card race, the Pats have pretty much locked up the first wild card spot. So you really fight for that second slot. And the Bills and Raiders, both 6-5, played this week. But the Colts and Texans are both 5-6, nipping at their heels, only 1 game back. So a lot of teams in the race for this last wild card spot. It's going to be really interesting. Nobody can really afford to slip up. One thing I did make note of, the Raiders, like I said, your schedule to end the season is just immaculate. You could probably, you might win every single game on the schedule. So, I don't know how you ended up with something like that, but I
And
think the
then
Raiders,
this will be
yeah,
my first playoff if I make it, guys. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I've
really
been
looking
had.
forward to
I've
seeing
been had.
the silver and black back in the playoffs. That win streak is
Need
nice. I think it's it's the second longest win streak in the entire AFC. 4 games right now, so really gonna be put to the test. The Bills are on a 2-game win streak themselves.
Yeah, we finna play. When we get through with this, man, the
Yep,
Bills
just
gonna lock
shortly.
up. Yeah,
Uh,
shortly.
Bucks, Bears, Rams, and Redskins lead the division in the NFC. Saints are in the first wild card spot, 7-4. Cardinals in the second one at 7-4. But the Falcons are only half game back, and the Eagles are only 2 games back. Cowboys only 1 game back. So it's a wild race going on for the NFC as well. We do have 5 weeks left, but it's gonna be really interesting to see how this shapes up. Rams are on a 7-game win streak after starting the season 3-2. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the predictions video. It's great having you here, man. I'm trying to get as many new voices as we can in here, just so you can hear
Appreciate
everybody's
having.
opinions and things like that. Um,
It was something new.
yep, absolutely. Tune in to the Raiders and Bills game. We'll be kicking off here shortly. Uh, Make sure you got your headgear on for whoever you're gonna root for in that game. And we'll be back next week for the Week 14 predictions video.
I hope y'all boys picking them right.